Everybody, we're back with another episode on the S4 Avant swap project. We are building a car that Audi wouldn't let you buy in America. We've got my daily driver A4 station wagon, or Avant. We've got a crashed S4. We're taking everything from the S4, putting it into the Avant, and building one fast manual transmission, all-wheel drive V6 supercharged station wagon that you can't buy. So where we left off last episode, we pulled out the engine and pretty much everything else we needed from the S4. So today we're going to get started doing some tune-up stuff on the engine just so that we know it's going to run well once it goes into the A4. And then we're going to work on getting the S4 out of the garage and the A4 in to get started on the next phase of the project where we take apart my current daily driver. So let's get started.
Say this a life we chose, but I don't wanna do this anymore. I just wanna go. You could say that it's all we know, but I could go get it on my own, so I gotta hit the road. I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna be alone. I don't wanna be alone.
I'm just cranking through the rest of the tune-up stuff right now. Got the coil packs and plugs in, oil filter, wrapped up some stuff down on the bottom. So we got the new flywheel in, and I'm going to assemble up the clutch now. Really glad that we decided to do this. It is much tighter feeling than the old one. It's obviously got no scoring, and I think in the long term we're going to be happy that we did this.
Fix no one but myself, so you better get your own funds. I be up next and I'm calling out my home run. And if we brought the Rex, you know shorty want a whole song. You could say this the life we chose.
I've been working on pulling out the carpet in the S4. So last time I left off, I had most of the center console out. I pulled off some side panels and stuff. It's been a lot of time just trying to figure out how it goes together, and then every now and then you figure a big part out and pull a whole chunk out in one go. So I've basically got everything from the S4 jammed into the back seat area in the trunk to kind of clear up the carpet, and now I'm trying to get that out. Carpet is out. Actually wasn't that bad. There's a couple of clips up at the front that pop out and then kind of fold the whole thing back and then out a door. It was not too big a deal. It's really heavy though because it's full of water and it's just like foam. You can see how deep the foam is. You know, come from here up to here, and then it is just soggy. What is fascinating is the amount of coins that I've found. You can just see they're everywhere. It's like a wishing well in here. And then that's just not all of them. This is what I pulled out of the slot behind the ashtray. So I'm gonna total all these up and see, but I think this project is basically paying for itself at this point. So the terminals the seat plugs into are all corroded. I'm guessing that wiring is shot from the water and that's why the seats weren't working. But other than that, hopefully the rest of the harness is good. There's the airbag module in the center. I'm probably gonna have to pull the dash off to get to the rest of the modules that I'm gonna need. But this is great. I'm gonna have to dry up this water and then maybe transfer some of this stuff from the back to the front so I can follow the harness along. I need to be able to make sure I can find all the sections that I need for the Avant, specifically the sports diff and whatever else we come across, the manual transmission stuff. So I've just been cranking away back here trying to free up as much of the wiring harness as possible. I'm gonna pull off the back bumper so I can get the valence to swap over. Just gonna keep cranking away at this to get it all freed up. The idea is to get the S4 kind of dismantled as much as possible, and then I'm going to put it on dollies and roll it over into the other bay so we can pull the A4 in here. I'm going to work on installing these coilovers we got in. So I guess install is a bit of a stretch, assemble them. This is the new ECS line for the B8. It was really on sale. I got a great price. So I figured give it a try. They're fully adjustable. They have adjustable dampening, adjustable spring tension, or compression I guess would be the right term, which is good so that we can really dial in for the Avant, because in America they don't sell a whole lot of B8 S4 Avant suspension sets. So I just pulled apart one of the struts. I'm going to install the front side just so I can start clearing out the old stuff, so like this can go maybe get put in storage or scrapped or whatever, and then we can consolidate because we're running out of space again.
You could could say this a life we chose, but I don't wanna do this anymore. I just wanna go. You could say that it's all we know, but I could go get it on my own.
Got the coilovers assembled, so I'm just going to stack them back in the box now and put them off in a different room for storage. So that way we don't have to worry about keeping the struts and all their assemblies intact in the car. But one less thing to have to shove around when we try and move the car and look for parts. I'm really happy with how these look so far. Like the machining and everything looks great. That's really no indication of the ride quality, so I'll have to wait until they're actually in the car. But I guess we're a long way off from that point right now. Alright, quick update. I've been working for a while, pulled out all the interior of the car, been searching out all the modules that I'm going to need to swap over. So I've got those all set out over here, marked everything down where it needs to go and what it is. So we're going to swap all the modules. After a lot of reading and talking to some other people that are interested in doing this, I kind of decided that's going to be the most surefire way to make this work. So it's not too bad, it's just a couple more control modules, the dash, the instrument cluster, that kind of stuff. So working on freeing out the sports diff wiring harness now. So that is this guy. It comprises of 6 wires. So there's a ground, power, and then I guess there's not 6. There's 2 bundles of these orange wires and a single black wire. So I've been chasing those up. Not a big deal over here. The power and ground end right here at a fuse box in the ground. And then I've just been freeing everything up to chase through. Unwrapping these harnesses is a pain. This tape is like sticky fabric and it just covers your hands in goo. But it shouldn't be terrible, hopefully. Alright, today's the day we're going to try and get the S4 shell out of this bay and into the other side, so then we can pull in the A4 and get started on that half of the project. So I've got some 4x4s, I cut notches in them. I'm going to put those onto the pinch welds and then put moving dollies underneath these. We'll see if that lets the car roll. So we've got some dollies under the back of the car now. What we're doing is we're putting a piece of MDF over the top of the dolly just to spread out the load, and then the 4x4 with the notch in it for the frame rail, or the pinch weld. So we've got the back done. I'm going to do the front now. We're going to drop it down. Hopefully everything holds, and hopefully we can actually roll it. So we'll see once we get the front down. The S4 shell is down on the dollies now. It actually rolls easier than I thought. We've got a little slope out the driveway to the garage, so hopefully we can get it back up that. But we're going to go shovel off the driveway now, clean everything. That's going to be the key with these little dolly caster wheels, is just making sure everything's as clean as possible, because the second it hits a stone, it's going to be all over.
So I gotta hit the road. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. I don't wanna be alone, but I gotta hit the road, yeah, I gotta hit the road. Pedal to the metal, got 140 on the dashboard. Overseas so much, I think I'm filling up my passport. Nothing's ever certain, just be careful what you...
So there's a little slope out the garage and then a seam at the driveway, and when we hit that, both the front dollies kind of slid off the car and the car just slid forward into the driveway. So maybe we're gonna have to fix that now.
This is not the old me. I remember back then when they didn't wanna know me. Now I'm pulling up and they acting like we homies. I was looking up, now it's say one below me. Oh, you can say.
Alright, so we got the S4 lined up with the other side of the garage. So we should be able to push that in once we get that bay cleaned out. There's the engine and the trans and a whole lot of other stuff just hanging out in that side of the garage.
Pretty much got a full S4 swap in this bay of the garage now, and the other side is cleared out, so we're just going to sweep and vacuum the floor and then try and roll the S4 shell in. So we rolled the S4 into the other bay. This is usually like our wood shop kind of side of the garage, and I'm actually surprised it rolled really easily. Faith and I managed it no problem. I was kind of worried it was going to get stuck in the driveway and we'd have to find somebody to help pull it up, but we're going to be ready to start packing all of the extra stuff like the engine and drivetrain into here, and then tomorrow maybe I'll pull in the Avant and start working on the teardown. Got the garage bay pretty much cleaned out now, so I'm going to pull the Avant in and we're going to get started. So basically you can back it up to the sports diff, rear subframe, and then we've got all this space to work with. It's gonna get pretty tight pretty quickly, but we'll make do. We got the engine and everything packed in around the S4 over here. Got parts on top, parts underneath. Got the barbecue smoker over there. So I guess let's give this a go and see what happens. Alright, hopefully this is the last time we drive it as an A4, but not the last time we drive it. So I'm just going to pull it back into the garage now, and then we'll get started. So this is it. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. That's going to wrap up this episode. We've got the A4 into the garage, so we're going to start working on stripping that down next episode. We're going to pull out the engine, we're going to pull out the interior, the front and rear subframes, everything's coming out of this car, down to the bare shell. And then we're going to start rebuilding it with all the S4 goodies. We've got the manual transmission, the shifter assembly, wiring harnesses, sports diff, maybe the Bang & Olufsen sound system. All kinds of great stuff's going to happen, so stay tuned if you like what we're doing. We're building the cars that we always wanted that they wouldn't let us buy, so feel free to follow along, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment if you like what we're doing, and see you next time round.